Welcome back, my children. Hope you're all doing good. Today we are going to discuss about Unit 2 Prose, I Can't Climb Trees Anymore by Ruskin Bond. Children, do you climb trees? Yes, it's a very excited moment, isn't it? Then, have you tried to swing in a tree? Yes, I also like to swing. Okay. In this lesson, the narrator just wanted to go back to his childhood memories. Let us see elaborately in the lesson. The author of this lesson is Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author of British descent. What is the meaning of descent? Origin or background of a person. So, actually the background of Ruskin Bond is British, is a Briton. He was born on 19th May 1934. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Satya Akademi Award in 1992, Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. His notable works are A Tree Still Growing Dehra, A Flight of Pigeons, The Blue Umbrella. His popular novel The Blue Umbrella was made into a Hindi film and was awarded the National Film Award for the Best Children's Film in 2007. Okay, children, let us see the outline of the story. The story highlights the importance of childhood days in shaping the character of a person. It deals with the wistful memories. Wistful means regretful memories of the joyful days. Which were the joyful days of the narrator? The childhood days in the life of a man and his present friendship with the little girl, enabling him to refresh those memories. The narrator was standing on the grass edge of the side of the road and looked over the garden wall at the old house. What is the meaning of verge? Verge means edge. So, the narrator was standing at the edge of the road and he was looking over the garden wall at the old house. So, he was looking at the old house. The old house hadn't changed much. He was so glad to see the jackfruit tree at the side of the building. He was remembering the words of the grandmother. Yes, always our grandmothers used to say something about the past, isn't it? But the words are always truth. He also remembered his grandmother saying. What did the grandmother say? A blessing rests on the house where the shadow of a tree falls. What is the meaning of the grandmother saying? That means it is believed that a house on which the shadow of the tree falls is blessed. The narrator, where he stood, couldn't find the turnstile. So, do you know what is the meaning of turnstile? See the picture, I have shown the picture there. You can see this turnstile in parks, stadiums, airports, etc. In that turnstile, the narrator, when he was a boy, he would swing on it, going round and round until he was quite dizzy. What is the meaning of dizzy? Getting giddiness. So, as a boy, the narrator was playing in the turnstile until he got giddiness. But now the turnstile was gone. He saw the tall hollyhocks which grew on the either side of the wall of that house. What is hollyhocks? It is a tall Eurasian plant with large showy flowers. While he was watching this, suddenly he had a disembodied voice. What is the meaning of disembodied? That means a voice of a person who cannot be seen. A little later, he saw a girl stood on the other side. The age of the girl might be 12 or 13. She had a lovely eyes and a long black hair. She looks very pretty. Now, the narrator, the man, was asking to the girl whether the house belonged to her. The girl replied that it was her father's house. And he added that whether the narrator wanted to buy it. Now the narrator was asking to the girl who her father was. The girl replied that her father was a colonel. Do you know the meaning of colonel? Colonel means a rank of officer in the army, in the US Force, United States of America. The narrator was asking the girl whether his father only a colonel, and he said he could have been a brigadier by this time. So from this conversation, we can understand the narrator might know about that family, and he started to laugh. The girl said that even her mom also told that her father could be in a brigadier. What is the meaning of brigadier? A rank which is above than a colonel. A higher rank above than a colonel. When the narrator heard about her father, that means the colonel, he thought of mocking at him, but he felt it was offense. Once again, the girl asked the narrator if he was going to buy the house. They both were standing on the either side of the wall, appraising each other. What is the meaning of appraising? Evaluating each other. So they were standing and evaluating each other. The narrator, the visitor, told the girl that he lived in that house before 25 years when he was a boy, and they had sold the house on his grandmother's death. Again, the girl was asking the same question whether the narrator was interested to buy that house. Why she asked like that? Because the narrator was asking about the house often, and he was looking around the house again and again. So she asked the same question. Then the narrator replied that no, he weren't thinking of buying it back. Just he came there to look into. He wanted to see the house, so that only he turned back to that house. So the girl remained silent. Now the narrator asked the girl, how long have they lived in that house? The girl replied, only 3 years. How long the girl have lived in that house? 3 years. The girl somewhat understood the feeling of the narrator. So she was asking him whether he would like to come in and look more about that house. The narrator was asking to the girl whether their parents mind about it. She said that her parents have gone to club, and she said that they won't mind anything else. She added that her parents always allow her to bring her friends home. They never mind about that. She was asking the narrator how old he was. The narrator replied that he was a middle-aged man. So he felt that still today he was young. So to prove that, he climbed over the tree instead of going to the house using the gate. He got upon the wall, but he had to rest there, isn't it? He was struggling to rest there. He started to breathe heavily. The narrator felt that he was on the flying trapeze, and he muttered himself. What is the meaning of trapeze? Trapeze means a horizontal bar hanging by two ropes and free to swing. It is used by the acrobats in a circus. Have you visited circus? If it's so, you might have seen the acrobats. Many acrobats, they used to swing with the help of this trapeze. Okay, children? What is the meaning of mutter? Uttering words in a low tone or low voice. The author said that he was a middleman, isn't it? But he unable to climb over the wall. He started to breathe heavily. The little girl understood the situation. So she gave him her hand to climb down from the wall. At that time, the narrator slithered down into the flower bed. What is the meaning of slithered? It means slip or slippery surface. So he slipped down into the flower bed. After that, they both walked across the grass and sat on the stone bench under a mango tree. He recollected his grandmother taking rest there. So in his childhood days, his grandmother used to take rest in that stone bench which was under the mango tree. When his grandmother became tired of pruning rose bushes and bougainvillea, she used to take rest in that stone bench. What is the meaning of pruning? It means the act of trimming a plant. You can see with the help of big scissors, they used to cut the dried leaves or branches in the plant, isn't it? That is called pruning. They both sat on the stone bench and they were very silent for some time. The visitor, the narrator, closed his eyes and remembered some of the happenings. What might happen? He was remembering of the music of piano, the chiming of grandfather clock, the constant twitter of budgerigas, and cranking up the old car by his grandfather. What is chiming? Making a melodious ringing sound. What is budgerigas? It's a small Australian bird of a parrot family. Okay, then what is the meaning of cranking? The act of turning a handle to start an engine. In those days, they used to start a car with the help of the cranking. I have shown you the picture. Okay, children? By slowly opening his eyes, the narrator said that he climbed the jackfruit tree and kept some of his treasures in a small hollow in it. What is the meaning of hollow? A small hole. If you see the old trees, you can see the hollow. While we are children, we used to play hide and seek in that hollow. That much of hole we can see in the old trees. So he was saying that he used to hide his treasures in that hollow. The girl was so curious to know what the narrator kept as a treasure. So she asked to the narrator, what kind of treasures you used to keep in the hollow? The narrator replied that nothing, only marbles, some books and some old coins. What else he kept as a treasure? Marbles which he had won, and the book which he wasn't supposed to read, and the few old coins which he had collected. Okay, children. Next, he used to say that he was a bit of crow. Why? Because he used to collect the bright things and keep them as a treasure. Okay. And then he said that he had put his grandfather's iron cross, a German decoration awarded for bravery during the First World War. During the First World War, when his grandfather fought in France, the narrator's grandfather got that iron cross from a German soldier. So the iron cross was a precious thing for them, isn't it? So the girl wanted to know whether the iron cross is with the narrator. But the narrator said he left it in the jackfruit tree. After the grandmother's death, they vacated the house, isn't it? So at that time, he was so exciting of packing things. So he forgot to take the iron cross from the jackfruit tree. The girl said that it might still be there. The narrator replied, it might still be there unless someone else found it. So the little girl climbed the jackfruit tree and found the rusty old medal in the hollow. What is the meaning of rusty? Corroded old medal. With the excitement, what was the excitement? She found the precious treasure. What is that? The iron cross, isn't it? So she ran towards the narrator breathlessly. She handed over the iron cross to the narrator, but the narrator again gave the iron cross to the little girl. Why did the narrator give back the iron cross to the little girl? Because she only found, isn't it? So he gave the iron cross to the little girl. But the girl said the narrator should keep it because it belonged to him. But the narrator replied that it could have remained in the tree for 25 years if she hadn't climbed up, isn't it? If she couldn't climb up the tree, they couldn't find it, isn't it? So he handed over the iron cross to the little girl. Then the girl asked the narrator that if the narrator hadn't come back again, how did she climb the tree? The narrator was standing very silently, and then he replied, on the right day, at the right time, and with the right person. The narrator getting up and placing the medal in the little girl's hands. And he said, it wasn't the cross he came for. He came for his youth. The little girl didn't understand what the narrator said. The narrator bade goodbye to the little girl, and there was a sprightliness in his step. With a loud cry in his heart, he returned. What is the meaning of sprightliness? Lively and full of energy. Okay, children, let us see a short recap of this lesson. The visitor visited his old house where he lived 25 years ago. Now, a colonel lives there with his wife and daughter. The narrator stood by the side of the road and looked over the garden wall at the old house. The girl in the house asked him to come in. Both of them sat on a stone bench. The narrator told her how he enjoyed himself in that house as a boy. He had kept an iron cross in the hollow of the jackfruit tree. As he was unable to climb the tree, the girl climbed up to the hollow of the tree and took it. The girl handed over the iron cross to the narrator, but the narrator gave it back to the girl as a gift, saying that he came there in search of his youth. He took leave of the girl. What is the theme of the story, children? The story underlines a very basic and urgent theme of human lives. Yes, children, searching the memory of old days by going back to the places of youth and childhood. It's a very sweet memory, isn't it? Finding those people who once were part in our life, that is our old friends. It's also a very sweet memory, isn't it, children? Okay. The most valuable time in our lifetime is the youth age, that is adolescence, young age. Children, now you are entering into the adolescence, that is youth age. Isn't it, children? So it is the right time in your lifetime. Utilize this in a proper way. Okay, children? Take care. Be happy. Obey your parents and elders. Let us all meet in the next class. Thank you, my children.